Remember when gaming mice were super hype? It was so exciting to see what the latest features would be. Logitech came out with the G403 and later the G Pro Wireless, the first lightweight, low latency wireless mouse. It was amazing. Mouse pushed the boundaries on weight reduction using holes on the ultralight, and they brought the enthusiast soft braided cables to mainstream mice. We stopped seeing laser sensors that picked up too much detail and were jerky, and we got high performance optical sensors. They even started to get latency down even further. But now, Logitech haven't released anything really exciting in years. I used to talk to their team a fair bit. They told me they were watching my videos, and that's how they decided to take the challenge of creating a lightweight wireless mouse. So my channel inspired the G Pro Wireless. Amazing, right? Yeah, but why did they stop pushing boundaries? Well, back in the peak of this channel, I was constantly talking with the companies behind the scenes, telling them what we wanted and why. There were so many ways mice could improve, but now, well, they've done all that. What boundaries are actually left to push? Why would they need that expert team to continue working on something that's already done? Better to move them on to different fields to improve those. You see, the difference between top tier and great is probably only shown by machines. In-game, it most likely doesn't matter, which is why I don't have much to say in reviews anymore, outside of the quality and the shape. That sounds like nothing, but I think the shape is the most important point. Very few people seem to realize just how important shape is, or they don't agree that it is important. Xtrfy did agree, and that's why the MZ1 has a tag that shape is king. Some other companies sort of mention it here and there, but I haven't seen anyone really focusing on shape. I'm hoping that's the next phase for the mouse industry. Shape. It needs to be all about shape from this point on. And quality. Like yeah, 8K polling rate, under 40 grams, long battery life, cool. Those things are good, but I'm still on a 1K 60 gram mouse with RGB. And why? No, it's not because I designed it. I'm competitive. I still feel rage at losing in games, which means I'd use whatever is going to help me win. But the MZ1 is genuinely my best chance, which I believe is because of the size and the shape. So why aren't companies putting more emphasis on shape? Well, I would guess part of it is because they've realized we're niche. As in, the people that want competitive mice are not that big a group. Many of the people that were hyped about this channel have actually just moved on. Their mouse is good enough. And the rest, they're just casuals. One proof of that? The G502 is still a top seller. It's a good mouse, I like using it still, but I wouldn't recommend it for competitive play. If you're trying to aim your best, the G502 is not it. Even the people who were big fans of that mouse have now moved on. Lightweight, smaller, better shape, there's plenty of options out there, but still it is a top seller. So much so that Razer made the Basilisk to compete with it. That also might be why Razer made the Cobra Pro instead of a proper Viper Mini Wireless. That isn't a signature edition. If you think about it, the enthusiast niche is probably just going to pay the extra to get the signature. So the other wireless version can be made for the casual market, full of RGB. It's just business. And that's why we're seeing a lot of safe shapes. That's a term I coined back in the day to explain that crazy designs on mice could be bad because they were forcing our fingers into positions, which meant they were harder to recommend. But I think I was misunderstood somewhere along the way, and people took that term as if safe shapes were the best. They're actually not. A rectangular box is technically the safest shape you can get. Everyone can grip phones. But would you play with a mouse shaped like one? No, why? Because they're not comfortable and wouldn't be good for aim. That's the balance you have to find with gaming mice. You need to find one that is safe enough to grip and to recommend to people, but unsafe enough or ergonomic enough to be comfortable. And hopefully with mouse aim principles that will help you play better. And that's why we have so many of these types of mice on the market now. They're a good balance of safe with good aim principles on them, but they've been done to death. We're saying the same things over and over in reviews, and it seems everyone, including the reviewers, is getting bored. Hard to get excited about the same thing over and over. Oh, this one is 4K and slightly lighter. Yeah, cool. That's great for people who are going to upgrade or buy anyway, but nothing for us to get super excited about. Okay, let's get to some positives. Thanks to the research and development put in by Logitech, Razer and even Mouse, most companies now have access to amazing tech. As in, they have low weight, low latency wireless technology too. Which means even if bigger companies abandon us completely, there's still hope. Because if you look at the top 20, you see a lot of new faces in there. Ponage, Pulsar, Ninjutsu, Lamzu, and the other up and comers that were on there before, like Xtrfy, Endgame Gear, G-Wolves and so on. That is actually really good to see. Back in the day, it was all Logitech, Razer, SteelSeries, and a few randoms like Gigabyte. The competitive mouse industry has shifted. Razer and Logitech will always be there in some way, I think, but if these other companies can start to make better and more interesting shapes, they will start to take the top spots, because there isn't much difference in the technology anymore. It's shape and weight, and quality and features. I don't think we'll ever see the hype of mice like it was. That era ended a while ago, which is part of why you don't see me doing videos much anymore. There are actually a heap of reasons, one being that I'm trying to get my series of novels finished, and another being that I'm trying to learn how to develop games. I'll make another video about that at a later date, when I have something I'm happy to show you. But yeah, for mice, I'll try to keep the list updated, but until someone releases something really interesting shape-wise, I'm probably not going to get too excited to make a review. That said, I do have some extra good news. I am in talks with multiple companies, and I've been designing new mice for the last year. There are plenty of ways I think we can improve them, so I'm really looking forward to trying some of these new variations and concepts, and I say variations because I'm starting small with the ideas. I'll go for more wild and way out there designs when people are more open to them. Gotta keep it a bit safe for now, so people don't get scared, because, well, regardless of beliefs when it comes to business, whether they think the shapes are correct or not, if the community isn't really willing to try new shapes, then they won't sell enough, and the business will lose a lot of money, and then we won't see the new shapes anymore. So I guess that's the note I'll end this on. We need new shapes. I hope as a community we can be open-minded and give them a fair try. That doesn't mean you have to buy every mouse that comes out, you have to find what's right for you. So if you do see something that might suit you, try it for at least 3 weeks. Really give it a chance. And hopefully we can get some extra exciting designs, rather than the same old same old. I can't wait to see what you all think of these new designs. I can't say who I'm working with yet, but it's multiple companies. The rule is I can't make mice competing with each other, they all have to be different. So they'll have similar design principles, but the overall shape will be different. Anyway, that's where I think the mouse industry is going. Big thanks to the community for backing this channel and helping push the industry. And another big thanks to the companies that pushed the boundaries and made so many good mice for the competitive market. Logitech, Razer, Findermouse, the Zowie team that became Vaxi, and so on. As a community, we all added pieces to the puzzle, and now we have amazing mice. That was the goal from all those years ago, so I'm glad we reached it. But now, it's time to take shapes to the next level. Okay, thank you to everyone who watches these videos, and as always, if you're looking for a new fantasy book to read, you can check out book 1 of my series at theheroesfall.com, and my mouse and pad, the Extrafy MZ1 and GPZ1. Oh, and if you've ever supported me on Patreon, I don't ask for money, like I'm cool, like I don't need much. I'm not all about trying to get more money. I usually do things for passion. So the Patreon was there because people asked me to make one, and I've always used the money I got from that to fund the website. It's being hosted thanks to the Patreons. So yeah, you guys are awesome, thanks for doing that. Otherwise, use your links below, sub, like and share, and I'll catch you in the next.